One of the most important questions I get on lookups is how to return multiple lookups. As we know, Vlookup and Index and Match will only return one match which corresponds to the first instance of what you are looking for. So for example, here I have Brazil. I want to look at Brazil in this data set. I'm going to find client 3, but it's not going to return client 7 and client 8. So in this lesson, I'm going to show you three methodologies to return multiple matches. The first one will be with filter, and it only works for Office 365 and whatever will come after that. Then the second one will be with TextJoin. It works for Excel 2019 and above. And the third one is a bit more complex, but it should work for all versions of Excel. So let's start. We go to this Excel sheet and we don't have anything here. We're going to start with the first methodology, which is the filter formula. So equal filter, I have here my array. My array will be my clients. Then include. In include, we're going to select the countries, do equal Brazil, and then comma. If it's empty, I want double quotation, which means empty. Enter. I get the result directly. As simple as that. So if you have the new Office, you are lucky. It's easy and fast. The second methodology is using TextJoin, which is from 2019 version and above. So here we do equal TextJoin, open parenthesis. If you are not very familiar with TextJoin, there is a lesson where I go into details on TextJoin. I'm going to put a link in the description so you can check it out. So the concept is I will first put my delimiter. So I will do double quotation, semicolon, double quotation. The delimiter is simply what will be the separator between the clients that I'm going to find in my table. Then I will do comma. Then you have ignore empty cells. So if I have empty cells, I want to ignore them. So I will select true. Then comma. Here is where we have to do a bit of work, because I have to explain to the formula what will be my text. So I can use an if formula. So if open parentheses, then we're gonna say the countries are equal to Brazil. Then we do comma. I want to return the clients. And if it's false, I want to return empty. So this is kind of using the if formula that you know as an array formula. So what it will do, it will check, is A3 equal to Brazil? If yes, I want client 1. If not, I want a blank. Is France equal to Brazil? If yes, client 2, otherwise blank, and so on. So we close the if statement, we close the parentheses, and then I'm going to do Control Shift Enter. And here you get the three clients separated with a semicolon. The third methodology should work for all Excel versions, but it is a bit complex. So here I'm going to use the index formula with aggregate function and small functions. So let's build it step by step. First, we're going to put the index formula. So equal index, open parenthesis. My array is what? It's my clients. It's where I have the results. So I select my clients. Let's just do F4, comma. What is my row number? So here is where I have to use the aggregate function. So in this example, the first client is at row 3, right? So I'm just going to hard code 3. The second client will be at row 7 and then row 8. So obviously this is hard coded, but we're going to write the formula for it. So let's close the parentheses, press enter, we get client 3 obviously. If I go here and do equal and then I select this, I will do F4 equal Brazil. What would I get? Let's do F4 for Brazil also. We get some false and true. True is wherever the country is equal to Brazil. As you can see, I have it here, I have it here, and I have it here. For those of you who cannot see this, you can just go up, select the formula, and press F9. And then you can see the false and trues. Let's press escape and go back here and see what do I do with this. Basically, I want to keep the truths, but I want to transform the false into errors. So I don't take those errors, I can get rid of them. So to do this, we can divide this by itself, because a true is equal to 1, a false is equal to 0. So if I divide a 0 by a 0, I'm going to get an error. So we just do this, and then we do enter. You can see that I have errors and I have ones wherever I have a match. Given that I have this, now I want to multiply those ones by a number that will give me the corresponding row of the client. So for example, this should be row 3, row 7, and row 8. So what I could do is I go to my formula and I multiply by a formula called row, and then we're just gonna do the reference, which could be this, and then we do F4, we close the parentheses, enter. So basically I got 5, 9, and 10. So to get it at row 3, because my data set starts from here and this is the third row, I just need to minus 2, right? So let's do a parenthesis here and then do minus 2. So now I have the right indices. So let's do my aggregate function here and try to use this formula. So I'm just going to copy it without the equal. I'm going to do Control C, escape, and then here I'm going to write equal aggregate. Then what is the function I need to use? There is a function called small, which is number 15. What does small do? It will return the smallest number, the second smallest number, the third smallest number. If you see here, I have a k argument. This is where I'm going to tell it, please return the smallest, the second smallest, the third smallest, and so on. So this is my function, comma. Here I have to select something. I want to ignore hidden rows, error values, nested subtotal, and aggregate function. Why am I using this? Because I transform those into errors, so those will be ignored, and I'm gonna be left with 3, 7, and 8. So let's choose 3 here. Then comma. My array is basically what I have selected, what I have here. So I'm just gonna paste this. This is my array. And then comma, I need the k. I'm gonna hard code the k for a second, and then we're gonna fix it. So let's close the parentheses, press enter. You can see I get the third row, which is great. How do I have this dragged down so it will give me the 7th row and the 8th row? Basically, I need to fix this k. So to fix this k, what I'm gonna do is the following. I'm gonna use a formula called rows. Rows is different than row. Basically, row will tell me the row corresponding to a data, but rows will count the number of rows between data points. So for example, if I do A3 here, column A3, that will be 1 row. If I have A3, A4, it will be 2 rows, and so on. So I'm going to fix this. I'm going to do F4 here, and here what I want to do is keep the same column but have different rows. So I'm going to do this, and then we get 3. If I just drag this down, I get 7, and then I get 8, and here we have an error. It's fine, we don't mind now. So here you get the right number. I'm gonna use this formula inside the index and replace this 3. So let's take the whole formula, Control C, escape, we'll go here, replace the 3, Control V, and then enter. If I drag this formula, I'm gonna get client 3, 7, and 8. For those of you who don't get a right answer and it doesn't work, what you could do is Control Shift Enter. So you transform this into an array formula, and then you can drag it and you get the result. So the next thing I'm gonna do is fix this num problem. So let's remove this and let's have a count if. So if I do here equal, let's put it here, count if, this is my range, what is my criteria, it is Brazil, close the parenthesis, and then enter. We have 3. So basically I know now that I only need 3 rows to get the data, right? So I can put here an if statement, if, let's copy paste this rows, put it here, smaller or equal than 3, and let's fix it with F4, comma, and then we have our formula, then comma, double quotation for blank, and then we close the parenthesis. So now if I drag this, I'm gonna have blanks. So basically what happened here is that A3 to A3 is 1 row, it's smaller or equal than 3, so it will execute the formula. Here A3 to A4 is 2 rows, so it's less than 3, it will execute the formula. Same for this, it's 3 rows, it will execute the formula, but here it becomes 4 rows, so then it's bigger than 3, so it will stop executing the formula. So this is how it works. As I said, if this doesn't work for you, just select the formula, do Ctrl Shift Enter, and just drag it down, and it will work. So these are the 3 methodologies. Please let me know which one you prefer, which versions of Excel you have, and as usual, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel because it will help me make more content like this one.